Hello everyone, welcome to the video. This year, Star Wars The Clone Wars, a very popular TV show from the galaxy far far away, came to an end with its final season, and as a huge fan of Star Wars and Clone Wars myself, I have really enjoyed the final season, especially the final story arc about the Siege of Mandalore. That story arc was amazing. The action was great, emotional moments were on point, the score was fantastic, and I loved the connections with Revenge of the Sith, as I am sure most of you did. However, there is one big issue in these connections with Revenge of the Sith, and I'm actually very surprised that no one noticed it. At least I haven't seen anyone talking about it on social media or anywhere else. And it is something that can actually make a giant plot hole in Star Wars canon. The thing is that the final story arc is trying to tell us that the events of Revenge of the Sith were taking place in a couple of days. I was always thinking that Revenge of the Sith was supposed to be taking place in a couple of months, but apparently it is taking place in a couple of days. And that feels kind of weird because of one crucial thing in Revenge of the Sith, which is Padme's pregnancy. Because, as we all know, pregnancy usually takes 9 months. Now, before we start drawing any conclusions to this situation, we need to say everything that is necessary to be said about this. We know that Padme is pregnant for some time already. It was hinted in the second episode of the Bad Batch arc in Season 7. We also know, both from this episode and from Revenge of the Sith, that Padme and Anakin haven't seen each other for a long time. Maybe we also know how long it was. In Revenge of the Sith novelization, it is stated that they haven't seen each other for 5 months. Obviously, the novelization is no longer canon. But here we can see that there was already a plan for Anakin and Padme not seeing each other for quite a long time. So let's assume it would be those 5 months for which they haven't seen each other. Now that doesn't mean that Padme would have to be in her 5th month of pregnancy in Revenge of the Sith, because who says Padme got pregnant right before Anakin left her and went to the battlefield? That hints she could actually be in her 6th month, maybe in 7th or 8th even. However, here we have to be very cautious, because we have to realize that Anakin did not figure out on his own that Padme was pregnant in the beginning of the movie. If you remember that scene, you know that they were hugging each other and Anakin did not notice anything. Padme had to tell him. So it should be clear that Padme was not in her final stages of pregnancy. So what to take from all of this? Can we explain this issue in any logical way? I was thinking real hard about this, and I think there are 3 ways of how Lucasfilm could explain this issue. Number 1. Padme was not in her final stages of pregnancy, and when her babies were born, they had to be put into some sort of Bacta tank for a certain amount of time, before Leia went to Alderaan with Bail Organa, and Luke went to Tatooine with Obi-Wan. Number 2. Although our main heroes in Star Wars are mostly humans, we have to realize that this is a Star Wars universe, and humans don't have to be exactly like us. Therefore, it is possible that pregnancy doesn't take 9 months in Star Wars universe. It can be just those 5 or 6 months that I mentioned early on in this video. Number 3. Padme was in her final stages of pregnancy, and Anakin's unawareness would have to be retconned, unless Padme purposely took on some specific clothes, which made Anakin not being able to notice that she was pregnant, because Padme wanted to tell Anakin herself. These were the 3 possible explanations that I was able to come up with. Maybe it could be a combination of all of them, but I'm pretty sure there could be some other explanations as well. If you have any, you can write them down in the comment section below. Overall, this is a very tricky topic, and I think Lucasfilm should give us a good explanation sooner or later. Anyway, thank you guys very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.